Hello everyone, welcome to the Hampton Law Firm. I'm Jeff Hampton and I wanted to take a few moments today to talk to you about DWI cases. I get people ask me all the time. Client calls me, prospective client, maybe a brand new client that hires on. One of the things they ask me is they say, Jeff, how long is this DWI case going to take? Well, we're going to talk about that today. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you the ins and outs of the timeline of defending a DWI case here in Texas. I encourage you, if you like the content that you hear today, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content just like this. All right, at the end of the video as well, I'm going to give you a free resource, The Ultimate Guide to DWI Defense in Texas. All right, we'll cover that here in just a little bit. Okay, let's jump right in. Let's say you've been arrested for a DWI in Texas. Now, you've never gone through this before. You have no idea what's going to happen. How long is it going to take? Is it going to take weeks? Is it going to take months? Is it going to take years? Now, my record for the longest it's ever taken for a DWI, 5 years. 5 years. I've had a case take 5 years before it actually was resolved. But I want you to know it's a very important question to ask, because many times I think there's this misconception that if you've been arrested for a DWI, all you have to do is show up to your first court date and you walk in and either plead guilty or not guilty. And if you plead guilty, your case is over. If you plead not guilty, you go to trial the next day. That is not how it works at all. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near, the court system is nowhere near that efficient. Now, I used to work as a prosecutor at the district attorney's office. I'm a former DA, worked at the DA's office for over 5.5 years in both misdemeanor and felony courts, and I have a pretty good idea of exactly the way that the prosecutors are trained how to look at DWI cases. I've tried over 100 DWI cases myself during the time that I was at the DA's office and doing defense work. And I can tell you one of the things that the DA's office does, these prosecutors normally have a pretty big caseload, okay? Each one of them has a couple hundred cases that they're dealing with. And so the reality of it is, at your first court setting, the prosecutor has spent very little time on your case. In fact, I'm just going to tell you the way that it is. The prosecutor sees you as just a number. At the first court date, here's what's going to happen. You go to your first court date, the prosecutor is going to make a safe offer on your case, okay? An offer that if you are going to be if you're going to be gullible enough to take the first offer on your case and just want to work it out on the first court date, they're going to make you an offer of something that's safe so that you can take it and move on with your case. But it's nowhere near the best offer you could get if you are patient and you're willing to push the prosecutor. All right, now, and like I told you, the prosecutors are handling literally hundreds of cases at a time, and you are just a number to them when your case first begins. So it's a priority. Your lawyer must make your case important to them. How do you do that? Well, that takes time. So the first thing you do is obviously you want an attorney that's going to thoroughly go over the case, all the police reports, the videos, all of the evidence, the blood test or blood test or the breath test that's out there. Want to try to find as many issues with the case as possible to create reasonable doubt. Don't forget, the state of Texas must prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. The more doubt that can be created, the more leverage your lawyer will have to negotiate better results as the case continues to progress along during the negotiations. So one of the things that we see is you have to understand this requires time, all right? I always tell people it's kind of like when you go to the car dealership. You go to a car dealership, when you first walk in the door, does that car salesman offer you the best deal they're willing to give you? No, they're wanting you to pay the sticker price when you first walk in. Sometimes you got to be willing to go in, keep negotiating. Sometimes it's even okay to get up and leave because you've got to make sure you are being treated fairly. Now, if that applies in a car dealership situation, you deserve to make sure you're being treated fairly by the state of Texas if you're facing a DWI case, okay? So sometimes clients get very frustrated because they want their DWI case to go away as soon as possible. But remember, to the patient goes the prize when it comes to defending a DWI case. So in order to get the best result on a DWI case, sometimes you have to push the prosecutor all the way up to a trial setting before they begin to really make offers that make sense. And what I mean by that is there have been cases where they start off with a 2-year offer a 2-year probation offer on a first-time DWI. By the time you get all the way up to a trial setting, they're lowering the case to a lesser charge. They're making different offers that allow it to potentially come off your record. There's all types of options that can exist. But if you were not patient about it and you just moved very quickly, trying to hurry up and take the deal, you will have lost out on the opportunity of what was available for you, okay? So it requires you to have an aggressive criminal defense attorney that's willing to continue to push that prosecutor and not give up. I always tell people this, I always tell my clients, the time you should be worried is if your attorney is not willing to keep fighting for you. If your attorney is telling you, go ahead and just take some deal, that's the time to get worried. The time your attorney should be wanting to continue to push and fight, even if it means pushing it all the way up to a trial setting to try to come up with the best result that they possibly can. Now, here at the Hampton Law Firm, we make it a priority to do just that. We are willing to aggressively push the case. At our law firm, we have a team of former prosecutors. We all work together to try to fight to get you the very best result on your DWI that we can, all right? So I say that to say this. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, if you need assistance with your DWI case, don't hesitate to give us a call at the Hampton Law Firm at 817-877-5200. Now, I promised you if you stuck around to the end of this video, I would give you a free resource, a free ebook. The Ultimate Guide to DWI Defense in Texas. All you got to do is click the link right down here below, fill in your email information. We'll be happy to send it over to you. And listen, if you liked what you've heard today, share this video with someone else, like it on YouTube, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content just like this. Thanks for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you on our next video about DWI. Take care.